India is rich, with rich culture, rich heritage, rich nature, and so on. But it's a sad truth that India is still not able to become a developed country globally. But does that mean that India is a poor country? The real answer is no. India is currently the sixth largest economy in the world with a GDP of $3.18 trillion. India has come a long way to achieve this feat. The country has a long history of difficulties, which changed from a very rich India to a poor country after the British invasion. But one thing that is comforting now is the changes in India's GDP over the past few years. But in spite of all these, why India has not been able to become a world-class developed country is an important question. So, today we are looking for the answer. Let's see what is the answer to the question whether India is really poor or rich. Guys, what is your opinion on this matter? Do you think India is a poor country? If so, what do you think is the reason? Just comment your opinions. So we are going deep into the topic. India is the largest democracy in the world. Yes, the largest nation in the world that is completely dominated by the people. India is leading not only in terms of democracy. India's economy ranks 6th in the world. UK, Germany, Japan, China and USA are the countries that lead India in this list. India's economy stood at $3.18 trillion in fiscal 2020-21 according to the latest IMF reports. It is predicted to reach $5 trillion by 2027. Also, India has been one of the fastest growing economies in the world in the last 10 years. In 2019, India's economy grew at a rate of 5%. A high level of industrial activity has taken place in India during these years. Strong demand for goods and services has been the main reason behind India's recent growth. Once heavily dependent on agriculture, India's focus on service industries had led to rapid growth in the country's economy. India's service industry has grown from a fraction of GDP over the past 60 years to nearly 55% between 2018 and 2019. According to the list, tourism is another important source of income for the country. It is estimated that nearly 1 crore foreign tourists visited India in 2019. To back all these, I am hereby telling you all about a report. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council reports, tourism accounted for 9.2% of India's GDP in 2018. Moving on further, India currently has a mixed wealth system. This means that the government-controlled public sector coexists with the private sector and the country benefits from international trade. But for many years after the independence from Britain in 1947, India remained as a command economy or a centrally planned economy. In this centrally planned economy, most of the economic decisions regarding the production and distribution of goods were made by the government itself. It is only since the 1990s that the Indian government has realized that this system is not at all sustainable. By 1991, India had begun to implement liberalization by easing its financial regulations. This expansion of liberalization has led to strong growth of the country's private sector. This has seen India's wealth system rise significantly from $288 billion in 1992 to a whopping $2.66 trillion in 2020. At present, the government maintains monopoly only in certain sectors of the economy such as defense, electricity, banking and other industries. So before taking it further, if you like this video, please like and support us. So let me get back. Traditionally, India's main source of income was agriculture. But now, the income from agriculture has come down to about 18.32% of the country's GDP. And on the other hand, there has been a huge increase in industrial and service production. Even so, India is still the second largest producer of fruits in the world. India is the world's leading producer of limes, bananas, mangoes and papayas. Also, fishing is another important source of income for India. Prawns, carps, sardines and mackerels are also exported in large quantities from India. Moving on, manufacturing of chemicals has played a major role in India's industrial growth. Chemical industries contribute 7% of the country's GDP. India's chemical industry is the 6th largest in the world and the third largest in Asia. 80,000 different chemical products are produced in India. Major chemical industries in India are bulk chemicals, specialty chemicals, agrochemicals, petrochemicals, polymers, and fertilizers. India was also the world's third largest producer of plastics in 2019. India is also the world's largest producer of dimethylamine hydrochloride. Keeping that in mind, India also has one of the largest pharmaceutical manufacturing and distribution networks in the world. Moreover, India also produces billions of dollars worth of cars, motorcycles, tools, tractors, machineries, and steel. And asbestos, uranium, limestone, marble, iron ore, bauxite, minerals, gold, and various gems are all mined in India. Also, according to 2020 estimates, 72 crore tons of coal, 3.42 crore metric tons of oil, and 3,290 crore cubic meters of natural gas have been extracted from India. In terms of service industries, India is dominated by telecommunications, IT, and software. India is one of the leading countries in information technology globally. The young generation of India who are educated and have good English skills are contributing greatly to the country in the IT industry. Another factor that feeds India's economy is tourism. 5.8% of India's GDP in 2021 was from tourism. India's income from tourism that year was about 14 lakh crore rupees. Also, 3.2 crore jobs have been created in the tourism sector in India last year. After 2014, India has been recording a big leap in the field of tourism. Medical tourism to India is also a growing sector. According to a report released by the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce, Industry and Ernst & Young, India's medical tourism market generates an income of rupees 74,550 crore. India's medical tourism has become popular globally due to the low-cost healthcare that is in line with the international standards compared to other developed countries. Most of the clients from all over the world come to India for heart and hip surgeries and plastic surgeries. In a nutshell, India has emerged as a rising global economic power in the 21st century. Between 2011 and 2015, more than 9 crore people in India were reportedly lifted out of extreme poverty. The country's strong economic growth has improved overall living standards. India is one of the fastest growing major emerging economies globally. Therefore, today, India is also the center of attention of investors from all over the world. According to former World Bank CEO Kristalina Georgieva, India is expected to become an upper middle income country by 2047. India is a country with great potential for growth, but the country's wealth system is often held back from the progress by country's phenomenally growing population. This high population causes a sector of the country's population to still remain poor. Due to this high population, there are many limitations to the development of the country. Even in such a situation, the fact that the country is progressing is definitely something that India can be proud of. Despite being a rich country and having a large population that drags down the country's economy, there is no doubt that India that's rising globally will surely soon become one of the leading developed nations in the world. So guys, don't forget to subscribe our channel for informative videos on various topics from different areas of the world. We look forward to all your support. See you again with another interesting video.